Very good evening to one and all. Good evening. Yeah, this is being recorded, and yeah, we'll wait for your friends to join. I request all the members of finance class, MBA fourth semester, and MBA first years. Please kindly call up your friends and ask them to join. Yes, good evening, Pooja. Please ask all of your friends to join, ma. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Yeah, please ask everybody to join. And the session is being recorded, and I will start the session in about 2 minutes. Is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Very good evening to one and all. Yeah, basically, before at the outset, let me just introduce to you what this program is about. This is an Institutional Innovation Council program, wherein I think you all should be informed about the fact that the Institutional Innovation Council is promoting the startup culture in most of the education institutions. And in this connection, I am today organizing a self-driven activity, which is about angel investing. It's a form of investing where, if anybody is interested in, if any student is interested in some idea, if she's generating some idea, and if that idea is having a lot of potential for commercialization, then she can probably approach angel investors. And I've tried to make it a little attractive for all those who are interested in understanding what angel investing is. Before I begin my session, let me just thank the principal of this college, of R.B. Vera Women's College, Dr. Achita Devi ma'am, and the IIC president, Ms. Sindhuri, for giving me an opportunity to share what angel investing or a VC funding opportunity for early stage entrepreneurs is. I welcome you all to the session, and let me just start showing you a particular screen here. This is, as you can see, these are all top Indian startups. I have brought some of the logos of these companies. Now, these are all startup companies, which means that okay, any business will have to be started. We understand that very well. Every business has some beginning somewhere. It starts from zero and it sees a lot of success. And yes, but why is it that of late, in the past few years, India has grown tremendously, and the progress that it has shown in the startup ecosystem, developing a startup ecosystem in the country has been very vibrant. It has created an atmosphere of, coming up with startups. Many companies have, many youngsters like you all have started startups, and they've got a lot of funding. As you can see, Policy Bazaar is for, somebody who got an idea about how to project all the insurance policies, and then you got to compare. It's simple idea. The simple idea here is, why don't you provide no, why don't you, I mean, the simple idea is that, yes, why don't we offer insurance insurance features to the public, and if they're interested, they'll be able to compare, and that's how Policy Bazaar came into picture. Then you have Fresh to Home. That is also a startup where, they try to, like your Big Basket and all that. Of course, you all know about Paytm. You all know about Zomato. and Vedantu is an edtech platform. So like this, you have, all these startup firms which have made our lives very easy, and they have created apps in such a way that we use them and we make use of these apps on a day-to-day basis. Isn't it very interesting that all the people are youngsters like you all? So therefore, I probably feel that you will also, or at the end of the session, probably will get some inputs and you'll be encouraged towards thinking of a startup on your own. And remember, it's always good to employ people and be self-employed rather than working under somebody. And because you have your flexibility, you have you can create employment to several people, and I think that is where it makes a lot of difference. So yes, I request you all to kindly mute yourself because this is a session which is being recorded. Right. Now let us try understanding the fact what is basically, yes, this is what we must understand. The problem today is, okay, we get an idea, no doubt. An idea is beautiful, you get an idea. But the biggest problem is funding. Where do we get the funds from? Do our parents give us these funds? Or do our friends give the funds? Or does a bank give us the funds? Or some non-banking finance companies, do they give us the funds? It's like literally very difficult phase where you may have a wonderful idea. Immediately you would feel, let me just why not I just commercialize it and make a lot of money. But money makes money. So you have to understand the fact that unless you have big funding, things will not move forward, no matter how best your startup is and how useful it is going to be the whole population. So a startup is traditionally defined as, a newly established private company. It's not backed by government. It is designed to scale very quickly. That means a startup is your idea, and very quickly, it will grow beyond. I mean, it will grow to such a huge scale that you yourself will be surprised. Oh my God, it's a startup, and how it has reached several people. And most startups kick off with very small operations. So no matter what, you have to start a business, let it be as small as making dosa, and suddenly an idea comes, why not we launch dosa across the country, and an app where you just make an order and you get it home, like how Swiggy and Zomato are doing it. So therefore ID dosa has come up like that. Yes, so therefore most startups kick off at a very small level. They develop their initial idea and then go for funding. They build their businesses. Startups are very, very high risk asset class. I'm sure some of the students who are present here do well understand that, we did speak about the risk capital, risk, because see, your money, generating money is difficult, and that too in a business which is new to you and also to others. People have not known, they do not know what your business is going to really fetch them. And you do not know what is the market. You have to test all these things for the first time. So therefore, the biggest problem, as I've highlighted here, is funding. And without funding, startups do not take off. So no matter how best the culture of startup is there in the country, if the government is not funding, if people are not coming forward to funding, nothing would move forward. So ideas and innovations, your idea may become irrelevant, or innovations may become irrelevant when there is a problem of funding. A startup has to work very hard for getting funds. Let me just tell you, yes, basically, yeah, we are looking at whom to approach. See, most of your youngsters here, probably you do not know what we are talking about and what you're trying to focus about. Let me tell you very simply. You start a business, you need money. And whom do you approach? That is the one which decides your success in future. Now, whom do you approach? You're a very youngster, maybe you're 20 years or 22 years or maybe less than that. And suppose you got an idea, you go to your parents and tell them, this is what I have generated an idea and I want to do some good to the society. Or maybe I want to make profits. Say anything, anybody has any goal, long-term goals you may have. So naturally, where do you go for funding? Funding is investing money into your business. You do not have any money, but you have to approach somebody who is willing to give money to you or make funding into your business. because he also has to develop. He also has to make profits through your business. So this is called bootstrap funding and investor funding. What is bootstrap funding? Isn't the name interesting? Bootstrap is basically bootstrap is like, you don't take anybody's money. You just don't need anybody's money. Whatever little money you have, you are utilizing it. You are generally, people, they feel, yes, let me start a business with 50,000 first, and slowly as it grows, let me go to a bank, then mobilize some money. This is what you people will be, generally any business entity will be thinking about it. So bootstrap funding is basically when you are not looking for any outside external sources of funding, but you're only trying from your own meager earnings, right? Or savings. That's bootstrap. The other one is investor funding. You're looking for a prospective investor who is interested in funding in your business. Why would anybody want to invest in our business? They would want to invest in our business when they feel, yes, this business has a lot of potential, and through this business, this person is going to satisfy several customers. And who is the target group? And if the target group is very large, let us say you are into a cosmetic business. You have started something very innovative in a cosmetic business. Now, naturally, India is a young country today as compared to US or any other Western countries. In America, the average age is today, I think, 70 plus. But in India, it is basically, in India, it is about, the younger population, I think between 20s and 25s, right? So therefore, more population is young. Naturally, they will use cosmetics. So therefore, if suppose you have launched an app, or if suppose you have done some innovative idea in developing some new cosmetic, or maybe an organic cosmetic, or which doesn't spoil your skin and something like that, then, there are people who will be funding your project because they know Indian population uses cosmetics. So therefore, that is how they make a guess and they start investing in your companies. So think about a brilliant idea which will serve the purpose of maybe youngsters, maybe you're catering to old people, maybe you're catering to middle-aged people, whatever it may be. See, you look at companies like Paytm. Today, how many people use Paytm? You go to a Kirana store, there would be a scan, Paytm scan, and you just scan and you can do a Google Pay, RuPay. All these are very handy facilities, which are created by youngsters like you all. So that is where you should understand. So when it comes to financing, funding, you have to fund. How is the funding done? One is equity and one is debt. I hope you all know what is the difference between equity. Equity is you are putting your own funds into the company. Debt is you are borrowing from somebody for some time and then investing in your company. As you can see, the best form of equity funding is angel investors. When yours is a startup firm, angel investors are the ones who will actually come forward. They will look at your project. They will look at your the prospects of your business. They will look at the product that you're manufacturing, and if they feel that they are also going to make profits in the process, they will definitely tie up with you, and that is called angel investors. The word is beautiful because angel, who is an angel? Who helps you in time of need. So therefore, angel investors are first-time investors in your business. Then a little later comes venture capital. Basically, venture capital is somewhere you're venturing into a new business. Maybe you're in different stages of business, and that is where you would be offered investments into your companies, and that is where equity financing happens. And debt financing, yes, you can approach banks, you can approach non-banking finance companies. You can also seek external commercial borrowing. That means from other countries. If they are willing to invest in your business, if they see a lot of potential in your business, they will definitely come forward. And then you have a credit guarantee, basically the full form of CGT, MSC. MSC this is with respect to the small and medium enterprises. It's called as Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for Micro and Small Enterprises. So any enterprise is a small one. You start at a very low level, and then small operations. Slowly, it will transform into a very big company. So that is where you may approach them. Then you can also seek venture debt. Venture debt is a form of financing where a venture is being financed by the company, right? So angel investors, what do you mean by basically angel investors? They're simply referred to as angels. They are very high net worth, non-institutional private equity investors who have a desire and sufficiently high net worth to enable them to invest part of their assets in high risk, high return entrepreneurial ventures in return for a share of voting income and ultimately capital gain. See, there are so many terms which are included in this one particular definition. First thing is, let us try to break this sentence into several components. The first one is they are high net worth. They have very high net worth. That means they are very, very well-to-do people, individuals. They are non-institutional. They don't belong to an institution. They themselves have done business. They themselves have a lot of experience in business, and they themselves are making a lot of profits. And such people are known as angels with high net worth. They don't belong to any institution, please. And then private equity investors. That means they are looking at investments, whatever they have made money. With their experience, they would like to help new startup companies. And then they would want to fund these companies by seeing at the potential of your product. If your product has a lot of potential, they will immediately invest. And they have a desire, to invest part of their assets in high risk. Suppose you are going with a project, you have prepared a project, you have come up with an idea, and you have prepared a project. And then when you present it to them, they will see whether their investment in your business will really work wonders for them or not. So it is a high risk to him as far as your project, you do not know whether it's going to really work well, or whether people are going to accept your product, or whether your app, whatever it is. So therefore, a high return entrepreneurial ventures in return for you want to have a voting right in your, that means you want to have a right in your company. Suppose an angel investor is investing in your company, he would like to acquire some rights over your company. And then he would also like to generate income. He would also look for capital gain. What is capital gain? Basically, when he wants to sell off the shares of your company, it has to get him good returns. That is what is about angel. As you can see the cartoon, it's like an angel investor helping out somebody coming from the, from the heaven, right? Now, angel investors, because our subject is angel investing, I would like to go a little deeper into angel investors profile, how it will be. Angels, they invest their personal money. Please remember, they are putting their own hard-earned money. They have been very experienced. I hope you all are a witness to Shark Tank program. Does anybody watch Shark Tank program?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
You all
ma'am.
watch. Yes, yeah, you all watch. So what is your understanding about Shark Tank program?
The entrepreneurs put their investments or their ideas into the tank, and the people over there decides the amount whether to invest or not, and they try to buy the maximum share, or they try to get into the business, ma'am, if the business is very much in growth, or if it has this high significance.
Wonderful. Excellent. That's absolutely the right answer. See, basically Shark Tank, there are few investors. They are sharks. They are waiting to invest in your company. If you have seen some of the Shark Tank videos, I would advise, please see them again with a perspective of, how these people invest. In what way do they invest? Do they invest in equity? That means in the form of shares, or do they invest in the form of debt? And, they will negotiate. They will listen to your story keenly, and then they will think, is it really worthy enough to invest in this company or not? Sometimes they outright say, sorry, we cannot invest in your company. And if you have gone through some episodes, probably, the Momos, how they have, they came forward to sponsor or invest in a Momo, like I think from Nagaland or someplace, I do not know. But that is where that lady was starting a Momo shop. And they could see that, people are now eating a lot of momos. People like to have it as a snack. And naturally, they felt all over India, youngsters, yes, they go and buy momos. Naturally, there's a lot of business for momos. And that's where they felt, yes, it is good to invest. So that is how these angels keep thinking. And it is also called as a patient capital. Why? Because they are not patients. They wait with patience. See, your business may become profitable immediately, or it may take few years. Not the way you have projected, probably that may not happen. So, however, they will see if there is a lot of potential in your business. They will definitely come forward and wait with patience, and they also help you achieve your returns. They are recognized as first source of external financing once founding from. Please remember there are 3 F's before you approach an angel. You must try. You yourself are going to invest, that is bootstrapping. Then you try from your family, you try from your friends. All the sources are exhausted. Then you will approach the angels. So by then, you must have done some qualitative work in your business. And the angels also are looking forward to see whether you really have that enthusiasm in you or not. If you do not have the enthusiasm, they will outright say, no, this person is like, he's just wasting his time or just whiling away your time. And these people have been entrepreneurs themselves. So they know the in and out of entrepreneurship. They know what is the risk of becoming an entrepreneur. And they also know how long it is going to take get back their money. But still, if there is a potential for your business, then automatically they will be investing. They are passionate. See, the word is very important, passionate. If you are all passionate about your, anything, not just startup, if you're very passionate about your studies, you're passionate about your business, you're passionate about your health, you're passionate about your well-being, you're passionate about your investments, what will happen? Ultimately, the result will be very, very successful, and you will see positive results everywhere. So because you're all youngsters, I would like to tell you all that if somebody is passionate, an angel investor has to be passionate in investing in your business. And you have to make it appear so passionate that wonderful business you have started, let me invest in your business. That's how they come forward to. And in the process, they also mentor the young entrepreneurs because, entrepreneurial skill is developed over a period of time. Nobody is born an entrepreneur. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you should know how to market your product. You should know how to make it appealing to the customers. You should know how to invest less and make more. You should know how to take risks and also wait for the returns. You should know the far-reaching consequences of becoming an entrepreneur. Is the worst thing that can happen is you will tremendously lose, or the best thing that can happen is you will outshine others. These two things are definite to happen. But in the process, if you are losing that passion, definitely things will not turn in your favor. So please be passionate. They also participate in development of startup businesses. And angels understand the power of entrepreneurship, and they take you along. They will, once they decided to invest in your company, they will simply take you along with them and they'll help you. And finally, suppose if you're a new startup, and if an angel investor has come forward to invest in your company, that means it gives a lot of credibility to your firm. People will start thinking, oh my God, this investor has invested in this company. It's something definitely, interesting. So we must know what this company is all about. That's how angels can create a credibility to your business, right? Then angels invest basically, we are looking at the other profile, continuation of the profile. They invest in equity of a company by way of shares. We said there are two ways in which they can invest. One is in equity. See, the advantage that one gets in equity is that your wealth, as you create wealth, you're becoming more powerful, more wealthier. So if you have invested in a share which is just worth 100 rupees, and over a period of time it has become 800 rupees, 1,000 rupees, so your valuation of the company will give you more and more wealth, and you'll be able to sell the shares at a high rate. So that is where they invest mostly in equity. They do not provide any debt. Please remember this. I only gave you earlier that there is a form of financing which is debt financing, but angels, when they are investing, they only want a share in your business. They do not want to give you any lending in the form of loans. They don't look at dividends and return on their investment. They only are interested in making huge profits. Basically, angel investors, they vary in the degree of focus. If I'm an angel investor and if I'm looking at your business, would I only wait for returns, or do I want to do good, or do I want to have fun? This depends on the type of investors which we will be looking into. They look for investment opportunities beside personal opportunity. Yes, definitely. If somebody is investing, they're not fools to invest in one's business. They are going to do a thorough study, and they will try to analyze by asking you questions. Your team will be invited. They will ask you a lot of questions, and they almost, it will be like, a mind game where you must be prepared for all the type of answers that they ask. And there they will catch you whether you're really interested in doing business, or whether you have really focused on the market segment that you're going to cater to. And that is how they will decide whether there is a real potential in your firm or not. So angel investors invest at a very early stage, while venture capital investors invest later. That is what you must understand. And they group themselves. Sometimes, if the amount is large, as you have seen in Shark Tank, they all sit, 2 ladies and 3 gentlemen sit there. All of them may want to invest, or only one person may come forward to invest, or 2 of them may put their stake in the company. So it depends on whether they form a syndicate, or they raise potential investments for the group, or maybe to fund the angel. Now here, let us look at traits of an angel. See, always remember, our behavior guides our decisions. Behavior in the sense, what has behavior to do with the funding? Somebody is coming for funding. I am trying to question him. I try to understand whether he's really worthy of getting funding or not. But what are the traits of an angel generally? If you see, there are 2 types of traits. One is personality trait. How does an angel investor really think? What is his personality about? And what investment decisions does he take? If you look here, the list of personality traits are, one is trustworthiness. See, he is basically a very trustworthy individual. An angel investor, imagine who on earth would be willing to put their money in an unknown company and with possible risk, known risk. You are entering it like, it's like a fire. It is fire. It is going to burn you, but still you are entering into it. So therefore, they are very trustworthy people. Angel investors, once they decide to invest, they will never go back on their word. They have very good decision-making skills. They not only have money, they have good decision-making skills also. They have high integrity and collegiality. That means they will actually bring a lot of opportunities to you. And high integrity in the sense, nobody will talk behind. Nobody will talk about their personality. Oh, this fellow only talks. He doesn't do anything. No, there's nothing like that. There is no back talk. There is nothing like, you are not sarcastic about that person, because they are meant for, see it one way. If you look at an angel investor is a very intelligent investor. For him, you are doing the groundwork. You as an entrepreneur, you're doing all the groundwork. You have identified your business, you've identified your product, you have identified the target group customers, you have identified the potential of your business, you've identified what could be your profitability in future. But this man is waiting to listen to all these things from you. And if he's convinced, he'll happily put his money in your business, which means that he will actually think that, yes, these people are doing a lot of work, and he will also give a helping hand. So naturally, he'll be very supporting, and they're very challenging entrepreneurs. So he'll support. If he has decided to invest in your company, he will support your business, and accordingly, he will, he will try to make things easy for you, and at the same time, he'll try to address your challenges as well. Then he's very patient, of course. Today you just invest, and tomorrow you will not get 20% return or 30% return. What will happen? He will wait. He is risk taking, and he's also patient. And relationship builder. He is a relationship builder. That means what? See, suppose I approach an angel investor. Suppose he is not able to do funding at that point of time. He might suggest somebody as well. He will create that space for you. And if he really likes the kind of your presentation and the convincing ability or the potential in your business, definitely he would try to refer your name to somebody else, or maybe some other angel investor. And they are supposed to be great mentors. Who is a mentor? A mentor is more knowledgeable, mentor is more experienced, and his enriching experience will help the budding entrepreneurs with some direction and focus, and they have strong expertise. So with these traits, they are trustworthy, they are good decision makers, they have high integrity, they're patient enough, they are relationship builders. I request all of you to kindly mute. Please mute yourself. Dear students, please mute yourself. And I also request you all to kindly take a photograph of viewing the video. That's part of our program. So the investment decisions of angel investors are basically principle of diversity, eye for talent, authentic and genuine, complete involvement in ventures, and rely on due diligence. The principle of diversity, they are not going to only cater to one particular district or one particular person of his state, maybe, because if he belongs to Hyderabad and the angel investor is from Hyderabad, he should not show that. They believe in principle of diversity. They have to attract talent from across the country. So he believes in diversity. Eye for talent. There are people who are looking for talent. There are people who are looking at, somebody who has the talent and who can really do wonders to the society at large, to themselves at large. They are willing to support them. They are basically investment decisions. When they have to take an investment decision, they're very authentic and genuine, and they will involve themselves completely. You don't have to tell them, nor they will move out of your company halfway when suppose your business prospects are excellent, you started it off very well, but unfortunately at a later date, see, they are not going to take so much risk. They will analyze before itself. When they call you for interview, they will analyze, they will study your project thoroughly. They will ask all types of questions. They'll throw so many questions to you all that you'll realize, oh my God, it's almost like a research which you have to be ready with. So, and they rely on due diligence. When you are complying with all norms and standards, they will completely accept your project. So that is where you must really understand that, yes, they do come to our help. Now, angel investors, as you can see, there are different types of angel investors. One is a barter investor. The one is value-oriented investor, deep pocket investor, partner investor, and a socially responsible. See how variety of investors. Not everybody is has an objective of making a lot of money. Not everybody is like looking at not everybody wants to invest the whole amount. So based on some criteria, a barter investor is the one who will preferably negotiate with the entrepreneur to invest in an early stage business. So they will negotiate. That's why it's called barter investing. Value oriented. If you have a product, if you have a service which you are going to create value in future, then they are ready to. Such value oriented investors are like, you create a value to your product, or you create that product is very useful to many people. They value it so much. Then, people who are oriented that way, people who think that, yes, I must also contribute to the value of the society, then they are the ones who invest in value oriented projects. Deep pocket investors, they have lots of money. They have stinking money. They have very high net worth. It is only that they have to decide which project they have to invest in. And that is where they will all look at, they will all look at the potential in the projects, and then they don't really mind investing few millions of rupees. Partner investors, yes, partnership, just like a partnership business. They partner in your business through investments. And maybe you have one partner, two partners, or many partners, depending on the type of the businesses that you are into. And socially responsible. See, you may ask me a question. If angel investors are so many types, the ultimate motive is everybody is looking at profits from others' businesses. Then what is so great about value oriented? I may start a business. Let us say value orientation is, if I am starting a business which is like not causing a harm to the environment, and if the investor is looking at some business where it is not going to cause harm to the environment, then that's called value orientation. And sometimes socially responsible. Now, how far am I socially responsible? What is my contribution to the society? Am I looking at the problems of the society? Am I starting a business and trying to reduce the problems of the society? In such a case, you might find socially responsible investors as well. So these are different types of angel investors. And look at if a snapshot of how angel investments landscape in India is today. Actually, there is a Startup India campaign. I think most of you must be knowing about some activities in the college. Through Startup India, the government is actively supporting startups. So even if you all have a concept, an idea generation, if you generate an idea and that you feel is going to help the countrymen or the population, then you can simply approach the government-sponsored Startup India. Then Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, it will provide financial assistance to startups for simply showing the concept proof. You just show, this is my concept, sir. This is the proof. I feel this really works well in future. Or you develop a prototype or a model development, or you try a product, just your product is just in the trial stage or in the market entry or commercialization. We can approach the Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, give your project details, submit your report, and you may be given some kind of incentives. Then R&D, see, if you suppose, this is all about creating a ecosystem in the country where, everybody is now, yes, we are happy. We are able to develop in India because India is giving so many types of, it is facilitating the startup culture by giving some tax incentives. So as you can see, the third point is increasing R&D tax credits. If you are working on R&D, if you are investing in research and development, you're still trying to find out through research, there are a lot of tax exemptions can be had. And then you can obtain a lot of tax credits. You would get deadline for tax filing is also extended for a startup firm. And you have some small industrial development bank of India, which caters to small startups. And you have medium and small scale industry ideas portal. And you have government e-marketplace. And like this, you are co-creating investments with angel investors. These are all some of the steps that the government has already taken to help the startups grow. Presently, India ranks number 4 after US, China, and UK. So you can imagine the magnitude of activities and startups that are happening in the country. We've seen, if you look at state-wise, Bengaluru with $4.3 billion, followed by Delhi with $3 billion, and Mumbai with $2 billion account almost for 90% of the startup investments in the country. And sectors, which sector has attracted maximum? Fintech, edutech, then your e-commerce, like your Amazon and all those things. They have attracted maximum funding. And in 2021, I think earmarked by Zomato, Byju, Nykaa, Freshworks, Unacademy, Ecom Express, these all have mobilized. You can see they're all in million and billions. So that's the amount of funding that they got. And there are over nearly 4,600 active investors in India, and close to 60% are angels. This indicates that there almost, early stage investors are strongly present and they're making use of the startup ecosystem in the country. And year 2021 witnessed more than 1,200 startup deals, and with the funding is almost $10.14 billion. And we have also, we have about 14 unicorns. They started with angel investments, but they have now become huge businesses and huge success. Such companies are 14 in number, and they are called as unicorns. So you can see the atmosphere is positive, the environment is positive. Only thing is we have to actually look at the whether we fit into this or not. You're all very young students. Probably, if you have a thought, something like that, probably if you are able to, if you are thinking of an idea, having it earlier days, what used to happen, people used to have ideas, but there was no system which said, come, we are going to fund. But today, that's not the case. You have a brilliant idea, you have a very small idea, but it helps several people. you simply can start off with the funding from the government and other agencies. Now, this is what I would like. It's a very interesting questions that you can look at. Basically, when you approach an angel investor, see, you all said you're all watching Shark Tank. It's clear. They'll ask some questions, some basic questions like, what is your total investment? How much do you expect us to invest? And what is the potential of your business? And what is the market for your business? What your market for your products? That doesn't end there. It doesn't end there. It only ends when, with so many questions, and the most important questions, as you all can see here, first thing is they can ask you is, what is the market potential for your company's product or service offerings? What is the market for your product? Okay, you are talking so much. Everybody who comes to us, everybody who goes to an angel investor, they would say, sir, my product is excellent. I can make so much money in 5 years only. I can make few billions. He will not be accepting. He will not be willing to listen to this beautiful lines. What they expect is, come on, tell me, what is the market for your product? Who is the market? Sorry. Who is your market? They would like to know. They would like to understand, did you really work at understanding the market? Without market, have you developed the product? Suppose you have catered to youngsters market, all youngsters, teenagers. Then yes, sir, you must say, my product will be widely used by youngsters. And without that, probably the youngsters, they need it in any case. So therefore, if you are convinced, if the angel investor gets convinced, then what would happen? He would definitely come forward. Oh, fine, there is good market for your product. I understand that. Next is, he'll ask you, he will not keep quiet at that. What is the revenue that you're going to generate? Now, when you are asked what is the revenue you're going to generate, you must be prepared, because you're all you are thinking of getting into business. You should know how to plan your finances, and you should also know how your money is going to get generated. What is the price you are going to fix to your product? Then he'll ask you, how did you calculate your market potential? How do you determine industry sales and growth rate? What makes your business different or unique? People talk English language is beautiful. You can convince anybody you think, but that's wrong. If your business is, you're not able to tell how your business is and how different your business is, then obviously you will not be, they'll not be keen in funding your businesses. So why would someone be compelled to? I'll ask you, suppose there are some prospective employees here, and I would ask you a question. Come on, tell me, why should I be forced to buy your product? You should act like a salesperson then. You should tell them, sir, this is my product. It is different from the competitor's product. This meets the specific needs. And if you're very clear about it, then undoubtedly you'll get your funding. What is about your management team? See, generally what happens is, if I'm a single person who has developed an idea and I have generated that idea, I go to the funding agency, I stand before them, I present before them, then they're not happy. They would look at you as a team. They would want a team to work. That team is what? The team is basically, you should have, group of students coming together, because that is what actually creates a wonderful mindset. You are working with different people, different mindsets. You are taking other ideas. You are showing your leaderly qualities. All this. If you say, I'm the only person, sir, I don't want to entertain anybody else, and that fellow will say, please walk out of my room. I'm not going to fund you. Why? Because they think that when such huge businesses have to be taken up, you need to have few people supporting each other. Suppose you're not there, somebody else also has to take forward the business. Suppose you quit the business halfway through, then what will happen? Other friends have to take it forward. Otherwise, what will happen to this fellow's funding? So therefore, he would clearly ask you, what is about your management team and what makes them uniquely capable of executing this business plan. Then he will ask you, what are the primary risks facing this opportunity? Come on, is there any business without risks? Can I ask you all girls? Can I ask you some questions? Can there be a business without any risk or zero risk?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Not possible, isn't it? Risk, it is inevitable. If you get into business, that itself is full of risk. So he will ask you, what you prepare a business plan, you try to answer all these questions. What are the primary risks? Who are your competitors? What gives your company a competitive advantage? Meaning what you're competing and what is the advantage you have over your competitors? How better is your product? A competitor is the one definitely who is going to manufacture the same type of product in a different brand name. So naturally that fellow will ask, please tell me how different is Zomato and Swiggy. If suppose the Swiggy is already there and Zomato entered later, then what would have happened? He would have definitely asked, yes, what makes you think you're different from Swiggy? Then he has to give some different features altogether, which makes him feel, oh my God, Zomato is really a wonderful, it has got extraordinary competitive advantage, right? Then when will your company break even? He's interested, he's putting his money in your business. When he's putting money in your business, he'll ask, when will you break even? Can I ask you all, what is a break even?
In a situation where we don't have a profits and losses, ma'am. Like both
Exactly.
are
You whatever you spent, you have made it. So therefore, there is no profit to speak about. Neither you are into losses. It's only that the angel investor would be interested to know how easily you're going to break even and at what level you're going to break even, so that yes, his profitability and his assumption about your company will come true. And how do you plan to acquire customers? You're not acquiring customers. Basically, you're trying to shift the customers of other product to your product. And that is a big question which you have to be really ready to answer. How do you plan to keep customers? You have to retain your customers also. Now, I'll tell you an example. Suppose I'm a customer to Bank of Baroda and or Canara Bank, right? Indian banks, of course, they have gone online banking, no doubt. They are providing a lot of e-banking services. And I'm also a customer of ICICI. Now, the moment I went, I took an ICICI account, and the kind of quickness with which they have created in the e-banking account for me and credit card, everything, it's so quick that immediately I felt like shifting from being a Canara Bank customer to ICICI, because, everything is online and it's so vibrant. So now what effort should Canara Bank do to retain its customers, and everybody is shifting to ICICI? What would happen? Then automatically there is a problem with Canara Bank. Now here, yours is a new company. Already existing companies are there. Why would customers get attracted to your product? You must be very clear about it. So how do you retain your customers? How do you acquire customers? And how do you expand your labor force? You're not going to remain dormant. You are not going to be idle. You're not going to remain stagnant in your business. You're going to grow. So how are you going to increase your labor? How are you going to expand your business? How many more people are you going to employ? How are you going to generate employment? You just imagine, girls, all of you are all users of so many, Swiggy, Zomato. Imagine Swiggy has created employment to so many people. You have a vehicle, they just go and deliver the product and they finish, they get paid. And how Urban Clap has created employment to several beauticians. How Uber, Ola, how did they create a lot of employment to drivers? And how Urban Clap has created employment to home cleaners or maybe plumbers. So people got themselves registered into these apps, and then they have plenty of work. So this is the potential they can show. This is what I have developed. This is what I'm creating employment. This is what I'm ensuring. If there is employment in any country, you are bound to be progressing. So therefore, tomorrow you can vouch, yes, we have created this, and these are the users, and this is how we are creating employment. And that really is very, very interesting aspect of any self-driven entrepreneur. And therefore, that is what is most acceptable. Then what are the possible exit scenarios? Is there any chance for you to continue in business forever? Or by any chance you're going to quit the business? That also you should be prepared to answer. So now you understand, that means you must be already a business entrepreneur before you actually think of starting a business. If you have answers to all this, then I'm sure funding of few millions will happen to you just like that. Okay. I would like to now, I'm on the verge of completing the presentation. But interestingly, let me tell you, there is something called Angel India Network. This Angel India Network, that is a group of syndicate angel investors. They will study like your Shark Tank at a national level. They have lot of investments. Each angel in India, Angel India Network is a network of all angel investors. They come together, they listen to your business plan, and they fund your businesses. So when they fund it, it's like, you get such a good recognition in the market. Oh my God, they are funded by Angel India Network. So you can see here, look at this. He is Mr. Sanjeev Bikhchandani. He is the one who funded. I request all of you to kindly mute, please. Sanjeev Bhik, can I request you to kindly mute yourself, please? I request the concerned to kindly mute yourself, ma, please. So you can see here, this person is Mr. Sanjeev Bikhchandani. He's an angel investor. He actually funded what? The Wow Momo, founded by Sagar Daryani and Vinod Homagai in 2008. And they have started a chain of fast food restaurants with presence in 6 cities. The company has got back its profits almost, through 50 outlets in 6 cities. And they served a wide range of product line, momos and tukpa and meals, that is all related to that state's food items. Innovation has been their prime focus. They looked at innovation and enhanced customer experience. They almost, it seems, they serve about 11 different flavors of momos. They are steamed, fried, pan-fried, sizzler, etc. And there is also a chocolate momo. Interestingly, it's a dessert. And the outlets are in Kolkata, Bangalore, Pune. So when Mr. Sagar Daryani and Vinod made a presentation of Wow Momo, this has attracted the funding from Mr. Sanjeev Bikhchandani, who is an angel investor. And that is what they also expressed, that they're going to open 60 more outlets in next 2 years. So where is the dearth for business? Business is plenty. That is one example I could give in this about momos. And look at this. This is a business creating social impact projects. Social impact means when you reach the rural areas, when you reach the downtrodden. See, there are people who are funding such projects also. There's something called Gram Vani. It's a voice-based social media platform. This Gram Vani is a unique voice-based social media platform, and it is meant for rural and low-income communities. It enables people to share information over a simple phone call. And this started 2 years back, and Gram Vani has clocked over 1.5 million calls, over 25,000 voice reports, and it reached out to more than 4 lakh households in the north and northeastern belt. And the callers discuss topics related to, what do they call for? They discuss about agriculture, about health, about folk songs, about entertainment and other themes. And this particular project was funded by the 3 angel investors, that is Mr. Shrikant Shastri, Raghavan, and Sunil Kalra. So you can see, likewise, you have our finance students, probably if you can appreciate, there is a tax spanner. This is an app which is developed. It's very easy, largest e-filers of personal income tax. People they have made filing so easy. They give some sessions, they make it user-friendly, and it's the commitment to delight the customer through the state-of-art solutions and superior customer services enabled to become one of the largest tax preparation businesses in India. And these 2 people, again, you have Mr. Kalra and Mr. I think Vinod. Yeah, these people have given shape to this particular. And lastly, interesting, this is something Preg Buddy. What does it mean? It's a small story which I would like to talk about. This was founded in 2016 by IT graduates, Shivarina and Shubhadeep Mandal. When one of the lady's cousin underwent a miscarriage in her 4th month of pregnancy, this immediately caught their attention. They thought, why not we work on some healthcare space and bring about a positive change in people's lives? Then they started developing an app. They formed a WhatsApp group, and then they finally called they identified all pregnant women. They made them fill up application, which was like peer-to-peer instant reassurance platform. That means You will discuss your problems as a pregnant woman. Others will share their problems, and they used to give some solutions like how to take care of yourself, your health during pregnancy, during trimester, the language, region, and past medical conditions. This actually, was such a huge success that it has addressed a major gap. See, just looking at your cousin's problem, health problem, somebody got an idea. Why not we create an app? And therefore, that this made the Spread Buddy ensured a timely and easy delivery of very high quality medical care. Somebody was in a very bad medical condition. Immediately, they were informed to the nearest hospital and then taken care of. So this platform now offers personalized healthcare via peer support, organized information, expert access for nutrition, fitness, emotional advice, and so many things. And the lead investors for this are Mr. Madhusudan Kannan and Rajan Anandan. So what I would like to tell you all is basically, this is how angel investors today are helping out, reaching out to several startups and youngsters. You think of an idea, develop before you just think about all the consequences of your idea, how it is going to do good to society. See, remember one thing, if you're doing good to the society, you will benefit. And if only 1 person or 10 people out of 1.3 billion people benefit, nobody is going to take care, nobody is going to bother about your business. But if your business is going to reach millions, definitely investment happens. Any questions, girls? With this, I will stop. Any questions from your end? Well, I thank you all for your patient hearing. I hope there are some takeaways from this session, and I wish and hope you all huge success. And I wish we would see a lot of startups, ideas from young students like you all, and wish you all the best. And thank you for giving me an opportunity. And bye. So I will wind up the session. Thank you all. Any questions from anybody?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
like what about the tax structure for the startups, ma'am?
Tax structure for startups, actually, that is what tax structure remains the same. You have to file GST and all that, but you have a lot of tax credits. Tax credits are given, and filing also, though they give you some extra time to compensate for, because you focus more on your business. So therefore, tax filing is also delayed. They don't actually, they force you to pay a tax. But however, as you asked the right question, it's a good question. Basically, what happens is when a startup initiates and funding happens, till you reach a commercialization stage, there's no need for tax payment, right? Because it's all expenditure to you. And that commercialization stage, when does it happen? Only when an angel investor comes into picture and you're selling, you're making profits, then your tax payment comes. So therefore, if at all you are contributing to the startup ecosystem in the country, or you are becoming a part of a startup culture, then automatically first thing is your encouragement is needed. People have to motivate you to get into the business. So once you get into the business, you are only spending. People are investing, they want more returns. But when does it happen? Only after the commercialization. And unlike what probably if you have read about venture capital, where there is an automatic exit route for the venture capitalist, he will exit and through an IPO. But here that's not the case. You don't go for an IPO at a very early age. You are nurtured by the angel investor. He will see profits, you will also receive profits. Then there is a decision whether to go for an IPO or not. Is my point clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Thank you.
Right. Any other questions? So thank you all. I hope you all have taken your photographs. Did you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much for all your support, and thanks for patient hearing. Thank you all. I hope you all enjoyed the session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you all. So we'll wind up the session now. Yeah, you all can log out. Thank you.